Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the HHC Pharmacy Fantasy Football Bootcamp. A lot of F sound there. So let's begin. The first thing we're going to do in our league is draft. This is the process of getting new players for your team. So it's going to be in the order like this. So it's called a snake draft. The first person will go first, and then 2, 3, 4, all the way until 10. And then that 10th person is going to go again and back around like this. The reason it's like this is because it would be rather unfair if the first person got to go first in this round, and 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 so on and so forth. Um, Now, when you're drafting, there's a lot of strategies you could take. You could go the approach of young players that are like explosive and exciting. You could go experienced players. You could go cute players such as CJ Stroud and Jimmy Garoppolo. I know that there is a team out there that is going by this strategy. Whether it's effective or not, who knows? Maybe there is a correlation between how cute a player is and how good they are on the field. I don't know. But ultimately, you do need to fill these roster requirements at the end of your draft. So that is one quarterback, so the player who throws the ball, two wide receivers, they're the ones that primarily catch the ball, two running backs who run the ball, tight end, it's just a bigger player who catches the ball, a flex who could be any one of these three, and then a kicker, a defense, some bench spots, and an IR, which is an injured reserve. So you can draft based on, how cute a player is, but still keep in mind that you do need to ultimately have these requirements fulfilled for your team. So, this is what the weekly matches will look like. Not like this, but it looks like this. So here we have the Epidiolex Enthusiasts, which is me. And as you can see here, we have Dr. Salling. Shout out to my pharmacy father there. Against Pain in the Aspirin, which is Sam Antha. And a nice logo here. So anyway, this is the week 1 matchup for myself as of right now. This could change. But in your matchup, you'll have all your players, so quarterback, your receivers, your running backs, everything I said before. And they will accumulate points. And if you add up your side and it's greater than the other person's team, then you win. And then here you can see your bench players, which right now there are none because we haven't drafted yet. But once the season starts, you'll have to decide which players you want to actually put in this area, your starting lineup. Anyone on the bench will not count towards your points. So how do you make that judgment? It's based on if they have a good matchup that week. Maybe they're playing against a bad team. Maybe that player is a little bit injured, so you don't want to play them. There's a lot of reasons that you could pick one player over another, or how cute they are, which is some of your strategies. And weeks 15 through 17 is the playoffs. So the top 6 teams with the best records will make it to the playoffs, and the bottom 4 teams will have a consolation bracket. Now, I did want to have a last place punishment. Not punishment, but like a little oh, maybe you got to be verified for a day or something. Or you have to be T1 for a day. But I don't know if that's going to go through the upper management because I am not in that position. That is directed towards you, Ahmed. Let's get that going. And this is what you will earn if you win. Not really, but let's pretend. So to manage your team, you need to take into account a lot of things. First and foremost is injury. Your cute little players could turn from this to this, and that is not good. So if that happens, you will have to pick up players from the waiver wire. So these are what we call the waiver wire players or free agents. And these are the players that are not owned by any team. Well, in real life, they're owned by a team, but not in the fantasy league. So right now, you have all these players that no one owns right now. After the draft, these will all be gone. obviously. These are like the best of the best. But if we scroll over a little bit, we will find some players that most likely will not be drafted. Maybe one more. So these players likely will not be drafted. And if one of your players gets injured, you can add one of these free agent players to your team, and they can fill in some of the gaps that you might have. It doesn't have to be because of injury. You can pick up these players because they are good, because they became good during the season. You could pick them up for whatever reason you have. Again, maybe they have a really cute face. But you can do whatever you want with these players. They are free agents. However, to pick up a free agent, you will have to drop one of your current players because your roster size is limited. That's not the only way to get players. You can also get them from trading. So it's very simple. Let's go back to this here. If I have my quarterback and a receiver and I want Samantha's whatever tight end and running back, you can propose any trade you want. If a trade is really lopsided and I feel like one team is accidentally destroying their their roster, then obviously I'm not gonna let someone destroy their team by accident. So I'll make sure that all the trades are somewhat reasonable at least. And the finale, at the end of the season, we will all have a pizza party with the donations we have acquired. I wanted it to be where you get to pick the cuisine of your choice, which everyone's choice would obviously be Portuguese food. So there's no real difference who wins the league. Everyone's just gonna pick this. It's pretty well known. Or not only will you win a pizza party or whatever other little prize, you will win glory. Now think about this. It's the end of the season. You have defeated Samuel Salling in the finals, and you walk into the pharmacy looking like this. And you stare into Sam's face, and you know that you are just better. Overall. In fantasy, of course. Nothing else. But don't you want to be like this? I mean, come on. This is the GOAT. You want to be the GOAT. So anyway, that is it. Obviously, it's going to look a little different on your phone. But the same rules apply, obviously. I'm saying obviously a lot. Obviously. Oh, and if you're wondering how the scoring works, you can look here in the settings. This doesn't really matter. The computer will automatically calculate it. But basically, if a player does better in real life, they'll do better for you in the fantasy league. So you can look at it here. This is the most important. Kickers get a couple points. Defense gets some points. But really, it's mostly all the offense. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any more questions, do not hesitate to ask. And I wish you all the best of luck in this fantasy season. Good night.